Mimomi bi akwaba eba Melodies TV so. Say the first time after President Akufo Addo wo free power. The first time I yet in Kani. Na ode nsem bi aba beto dwa nsem bebre. Nsem a ode ato dwa no ebimo na America wotie President Akufo Addo nsem a woka ex-president Akufo Addo nsem a woka. O say economic crisis protests made my administration unpopular. Akufo Addo. Mabeso atre say ono President Akufo Addo ni din say asay e Ghana. Na memuo say asay wo Ghana and the Ghana for sorry aye to make us a President Akufo Addo na memuo the worst ever in the history of this country no. O say the ama Ghana for boni din boni economic crisis a esi any protest oye tre a Ghana for bebre yema etre no ye ewo na aban mu no eno na I'll read a story I'll speak on this and yamunim say na me no. As the former president Akufo Addo has admitted that economic challenges and frequent public protests during his tenure significantly contributed to his government's declining popularity. Also speaking at the launch of a book authored by former Nigerian military president General Ibrahim Babangida, International say President Akufo Addo echo book launch. Nigeria for former president launch book and otons after President Akufo Addo. Nti Akufo Addo ko a wo call launch book no. Na onya akwan yema ne kwan se won kasa na ode kan same way ni na. As Akufo Addo reflected on the economic turbulence that marked his presidency, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic, which severely impacted Ghana's financial stability. Inti clearly no, President Akufo Addo in office blamed COVID-19 even after Yato Abawe Lusu, our ex-president. No, President Akufo Addo is still blaming COVID-19. That is a COVID-19 excuse ne there. And yeah, their President Akufo Addo bejemu ne chimba kraba. That's the excuse they are going to hold on to. No problem. He noted that the global health crisis disrupted economies worldwide, including Ghana, leading to a sharp decline in economic activity. With international capital markets largely inaccessible, his administration had limited options and was ultimately compelled to seek financial assistance from the International Monetary Fund to stabilize the economy. Akufo Addo acknowledged that the resulting economic hardship fueled widespread public dissatisfaction, sparking multiple protests across the country, while he admitted that the demonstrations were not as intense as the structural adjustment program riots in Ghana and other African countries in the 1980s. He considered that they were significant enough to erode public confidence in administration. It is just a President Akufo Addo Ejiatum say oyetra Ghana for ye no. And emu nyedin te say senia Ghana for ye oyetra in 1980. Na so person tre say oyetra no na say ni din. Oyetra Ghana for ye no na say ni din. So we faced a major economic crisis, and with the world's capital markets close to us, we ended up going to the IMF. Not an easy decision to make. The economic difficulties brought people onto the streets. I will say that even though the demonstrations were not on the scale of the SAP riots that are recalled and described in the book, they were serious enough, feeding into the growing dissatisfaction against the government. Now, all these things are President Akufo Addo. Do you know what I see? I see someone who is still not ready to take responsibility. When President Akufo Addo was the president, one of the things I made Melodies me bonichi and I say, now one person will be taking responsibility. And today thinking say, well, better than the ex-president with hindsight, our MPP4, they are in the grief period now. You think the President Akufo Addo at least accept responsibility, but that be President Akufo Addo has nothing. He wants nothing to do with the word responsibility. He doesn't want to accept responsibility. And that's exactly what President Akufo Addo is doing. When President Akufo Addo talks about economic crisis, what caused the economic crisis? Who blame COVID? Is Ghana the only country COVID a boy so economic crisis now work or blame COVID? You see, the thing is that you played a part in that, and the part you played, economic crisis and interest. When President Akufo Addo was speaking, or say the euro market was closed on Ghana, no, it is not the economic crisis in the euro market, no. Sorry, and your COVID crisis in the euro market near close in Ghana, so because the euro market people were still borrowing there. It is a who blame COVID. At the end, the closing market, no, your excessive borrowing. Obobusiama, omo anomo bobusiama no, omo awomo hwesika se mu hu se sene ya wabobusia no ntumi ntia. And omo very simple. Asemo a President Akufo Addo kan ni na when they were share COVID di we no. Simple, o say euro market e close on you. Na eya na me pese me tretre mu na nkrofo ti ase. Akwa se wuti fie na wuti no, obobusia free obra ho. Obra panyin, obobusia free ne ho. Wabobusia ma afei Obra penye hu se dabi bosia na wabɔ no ye ka se tia ka ende kra ntumi ntia enti wo ba beji sike free ne hobby boss me mawo. That is exactly what euro market no obode ye Ghana for. Enti esan se wo no wabɔ bosia ye ka tra se bosia na wabɔ no ntumi ntia na jai na wo mfi no afei wo san ko bɔ bosia na esi ye mawo no wo si wo de be she COVID na okay. COVID disisika COVID ede bre Ghana no na echen da. Until it balances out. Emra COVID ede sikapudro ba bewra wo man ni mo ne ehun se sikapudro ne da. Eye COVID inti ye ma metena ho ma me blame COVID. At this point, as an ex-president, you are still mentioning COVID. When will President Akufo Addo take responsibility? Ghana for to abetia wo mo and wo mo hu ni se chale ade na nko yi nukra no. Still the president is adamant, the ex-president is adamant and still blaming COVID. Seriously? And to say a protest made your government unpopular. President Akufo Addo, yes raw. Ababy and Ghana how we preventing Ghanaians from protesting like you. President Akufo Addo. Oka protest. And His Excellency John Dramani Mahama by na say kra head yen grofo yetia no ebi mo be hyase kra aye protest. But President Akufo Addo mbra wo ba first time around 2017 law students protester wo mo ko send yama police for vim mo. It was only under President Akufo Addo ni ehun shenanigans na MPP for to me ye at the council in Crawford protest. For the very first time in the history of this country, Ghana force fix the country. You see, ye protest. The Juana as a war. Ye din fidie. Eko gugu Independence Square say ye man kro bia nye protest. President Akufo Addo is talking about protest making him unpopular. Protest being the ye wa Ghana here making unpopular. Ghanaians were constantly complaining. Say even because a President Akufo Addo ninti ye ka se nkrofo mbra protester no mo person be pie aba protest no. And President Akufo Addo, the very first time in the history of this country, Ghana for some mo protester. Obe un say police ni biti be office bi mu Accra be regional office yen nim no. Obe ade be kwa kopie court. Judge bi aye nim no judge ne se me the injunction to protest ne so me mamu nko na ebi nsi da Ghana krom ha President Akufo Addo mu na mo bae e de sa de ne bae. I expect say NDC will not start doing that, but say NDC shares say wo mo so yes ade na e ye wo President Akufo Addo na omusua free ye. Because first no be ko demonstrations aye man kwan man pa kro ne ko wo time e na mo de sa de ne bae. O yes o be ko demonstration na no ye be police wo be ye ko mo nka he. A day to the demonstration, no, na police for the letter about bonte say ane yakwa kwaje court injunction na yen person crofo ne beko demonstration. Na President Akufo Addo yen say ye refi ana. O say protest na man ye unpopular protest for the way demonstration ben. Demonstration ben na President Akufo Addo na ban ye unpopular. waba so manyama boa ye de magana for ewu esu a wo say demonstration na say Ghana for basically asema president Akufo Addo kan no ex-president kan no say ye demonstration and say Ghana for adwe na ma Ghana for hu say na memu eye bone for the way for the very onkrofo akọ protest ejina baabi moko so a wo mu Ghana for so say mo bail mo mo NDC for balance no ma be cancel case no Oliver Baka monsensem no Oliver Baka ni hu ye na ya sembe enye protest ya because one person be mo akọ protest. Stop Galamsey now. Galamsey protest kra mo ka so mbeko last minute. Yes, President Akufo Addo, ex-president, yes, why? Please don't be saying some things.